Are you still creating the record of your new leads in your Google Sheets manually? Then this video is just for you. So hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video we're going to learn how to add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Google Sheets for advertising agency. So I am an owner of an advertising agency and over here I promote my business with the help of IndiaMART. And I use Google Sheets to create the record of all the new leads that are generated in my business. Here what I want is that as soon as by the potential customers or clients, a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account. I want to create the record of the lead details in my Google Sheets. Now creating this record manually is very time consuming. So what I've done is I've simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of it. So if you also want to learn about this amazing automation process step by step, for that let me take you to my screen. In this video we're going to learn how to add IndiaMART leads inquiries to Google Sheets for advertising agency. So as an owner of an advertising agency, I use IndiaMART to capture fresh inquiries from interested businesses, and I use Google Sheets to automatically store these leads in a well-structured manner. This integration allows me to access the lead information in real time, collaborate seamlessly with my team, and ensure that we follow up with our leads promptly and professionally. And I'm going to create this amazing automation between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the all Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the products that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process in Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Add IndiaMART Leads Inquiries to Google Sheets for Advertising Agency. So this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. And for the folder on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select IndiaMART Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created in the name of Add IndiaMART Leads Inquiries to Google Sheets for Advertising Agency, and you can see that there are two windows in front of you. One says Trigger, other says Action. So what is Trigger and Action? Trigger and Action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here, Trigger says when this happens and Action says do this. That means what is Action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. And for the trigger application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as IndiaMART. As with the help of IndiaMART, I'm receiving a lot of leads and inquiries for my business. I want that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, automatically the trigger over here should capture the response of that. And that is why for my trigger application, I've selected it as IndiaMART. And for the trigger event over here, I'm going to select it as new leads. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Now using this unique webhook URL, we are going to build the connection between IndiaMART and Pabbly Connect by following the steps given here below in the help desk. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, log into your IndiaMART account that you want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So now in order to connect this account to Pabbly Connect, from the left side of the panel, go to Lead Manager option right here. After landing towards the Lead Manager page, go to the top left corner menu right here. From this option, go to Import Export Leads, and from the given options, click on this Push API button right here. As you're going to land towards the Push API integration page of your IndiaMART account, it is asking for us to select the source. For that, click on the drop down. The given source is not provided in the drop down, so I'm going to select the source over here as Other. It is asking for the platform name and the URL. So for the platform name over here, I'm going to give it as Pabbly Connect. Okay, so this is the platform name, and for the URL, I'm going to paste the webbook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. After entering the platform name and the URL, click on Save button. It is asking for the reason why are we creating this API. So I'm going to select the random reason from the drop down and click on this button right here. As I've done that, you can see the webbook URL is successfully added to my IndiaMART account. As now the webbook URL is added, I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down. It is saying waiting for webbook response. So now to check whether IndiaMART is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a test lead in my IndiaMART account. And after generating the test lead, I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test lead being generated or not. Okay. So now to generate the test lead in my IndiaMART account, I'm going to log into the user account of my IndiaMART. So this is my IndiaMART users account, and using this account, I'm going to generate the test lead. Now, in order to generate the test lead, I have created a dummy product in my IndiaMART account. So I'm going to search for the dummy product that I've created right over here. So this is the dummy product that I've created. You can see right over here, and using this product, I'm going to generate the test lead. For that, click on this contact supplier button. It is asking for the message, the inquiry that I have. So the inquiry over here, I'm going to write it as looking for digital marketing services for my brand. Okay, so this is the inquiry. I'm going to click on this next button. For the GST number, I'm going to enter the dummy GST number right over here and then click on the submit button right here. It says the details are sent. As now the test lead is generated, I'm going to go back to my workflow, and over here if I'm going to scroll down, you can see the response of the test lead being generated has been captured in our trigger. Status comes as success. This is a query ID. This is a dummy subject. State of the lead comes as Madhya Pradesh. Name comes over here as Angel. If I'm going to further scroll down, this is the mobile number of our lead. This is the email, that is testuser@pabblytudes.com. Country is IN, that is India. Company is test company. City is Bhopal. Address is Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. If I'm going to further scroll down, this is the date and type of the lead being created. This is the dummy product that we have created. And for the message, this is the message that was looking for digital marketing services for my brand. This was the same message that I have generated as an inquiry. As now the response of the lead being generated in my IndiaMART account has been captured in our trigger, this means that IndiaMART is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, we need to set up our action step. My objective is that as soon as a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, I want to create the record of the lead details in my Google Sheets. Now, in order to do that, we're going to set up our action step, in which for the action application over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Google Sheets. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as add new row, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have. After that, click on sign in with Google. A window is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for a permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this is a safe process, my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on this allow button right here. As I've done that, you can see I have successfully authorized Google Sheets to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for us to select a spreadsheet. So I've created a spreadsheet over here in the name of IndiaMART leads details. And in this spreadsheet, I want to create the record of my leads details. So what I'm going to do is for the spreadsheet over here, I'm going to select it as IndiaMART lead details. Okay. After that, for the sheet, I've created a single sheet in the name of sheet 1. You can see right over here. So for the sheet, I'm going to select it as sheet 1. After that, it is asking for the unique query ID, name, email, phone number, company, address, city, state, country, product name, and the message. Now, what are these fields? These are the headers that I've created in this spreadsheet. Let us tally. Unique query ID, name, email, phone number, company, address, city, state, country, product name, and the message. And under the headers, I want to create the record of my lead. So these are the same fields. Now, so for the data of these fields, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. And how it works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, this was the previous step, and as I'm going to click on it, this is the same response that was captured in our previous step. In the response, we have received the lead, and I want to create the record of the same lead. So this is the unique query ID. So I'm going to map the data of the unique query ID from my previous response. So as now I've selected the data from my previous response, the data is mapped. And as I have mapped the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this map data. Similarly, for the name, I'm going to map the data of the name of my lead right over here. For the email over here, I'm going to map the data of the email that I've received right here. For the phone number over here, I'm going to map the data of the phone number that I've received right over here. This is the data. I'm going to map it.
Next, it is asking for the company name. So I'm going to map the data of the company name that I've received right over here. Then it is asking for the address. So I'm going to map the data of the address. For the city over here, I'm going to map the data of the city right over here. This is the city. I'm going to map the data. For the state, I'm going to map the data of the state right over here. If I'm going to scroll down. For the country, I'm going to map the data of the country that I've received right over here. This is the country. I'm going to map the data. For the product name, I'm going to again search for the product name and map the data of the name of my product. And lastly, for the message, I'm going to map the data of the message right here. After filling in all the required details, I'm going to click on this Save and Send Test Request button right here. As I've done that, we have received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Google Sheets and check whether the record of my leads details has been created in my spreadsheet or not. For that, I'm going to open my spreadsheet. And yes, you can see over here, the record of my leads details has been successfully created in my spreadsheet. For the unique query ID, name as Angel, email is testuser@pabblytudes.com with the phone number, company as test company, address is Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, city is Bhopal, state is Madhya Pradesh. If I'm going to further scroll, country is IN, that is India, product name is Pabbly Connect, free demo available. This was a dummy product. And for the message, this is the same inquiry that we have generated using IndiaMART. So as the record of my leads details has been captured over here in Google Sheets, this means that we successfully created an automation between IndiaMART and Google Sheets with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, I am an owner of an advertising agency, and using IndiaMART I promote my agency, and using Google Sheets I create the systematic record of all my leads details. Over here for the trigger I've selected as IndiaMART new leads, as whenever by the potential customers clients a new lead is going to be generated in my IndiaMART account, automatically the trigger over here is going to capture the response of that, and with the help of this action, that is Google Sheets add new row, the response of the lead that is captured in a previous step is going to be created as systematic record in my Google Sheets. And with Pabbly Connect, I've built the connection between these two applications in this manner. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.